name is Kaz Lamar. I'm your host today, and I'm looking forward to having this great conversation about urban positive messaging in our music. Hey, we're going to be talking about music technology. We're going to be talking about all the things urban music today with one of our group members. Troy Scott's going to be here. He's a musician and producer. I'm looking forward to talking to him. He's a very talented individual, and we're going to sit here and have a great time. So sit back, relax, and get ready. Let's go. Hey, I want to welcome you to the show, man. Hey, first of all, I want to thank you for agreeing to be on. I have a process that I involve when doing the show. Like, I'm very specific in how I want to do the show, and I give instructions like, okay, let me know this. Man, you were on it right away and did what you were supposed to do. And I was like, man, yeah, that was very impressive, man. Thank you so much for making it easy for me. And also, I want to just introduce you to the audience as a music producer and also a Kaz's Corner producer group member. You're very active in the group, man, and you're very, I love the way you participate. You and I have the same common goal. We talk about a lot of the same things. So that's some of the things we're going to talk about tonight. Hey, why don't you introduce yourself to the audience and tell them, what you did, how you got involved in music and whatnot. We know each other through family, so we ain't going to get all into that. But but the thing about it is, man, I listened to your music and I said to myself, let me be really clear, Troy. When I listen to people's music, I listen for process. You cannot. I just know me. I need to hear process.
Right.
I need to hear process, man. And I think that's one of the issues that we talked about music today. But when I listen to your music, I could hear that you put time and effort into your music. So talk a little bit about how you got into music, why music is important to you, and we have Prince in common, so we'll talk about that a little bit too. Why don't you get into that a little bit and tell me a little bit about how you got into music?
Okay, yeah. I kind of, I grew up like my mom, like my mom didn't play any instruments or anything, but music. There was music always playing, when I'm growing up as a kid. So, I got all that history of it. I like through the Motown era, back in the Sly and the Family Stone, all of that.
Yeah.
Because my mom was always playing all this music, so I think that's where my love for music started. My dad, he sang and stuff like that. So, but I didn't really grow up with my dad, so I was with my mom. But her love for music, I think, kind of inspired me, and then I started getting attracted to. I think when I was younger, I was trying to learn, like little instruments that you pick up when you were a kid. I remember there was a guy, my next door neighbor. We used to play bongos and different percussions and stuff. And he ended up going on to become like a phenomenal drummer. He lives up in New York right now. And, I kind of started going a little bit in a different way towards the string instruments, and that bass sound started
Yeah.
attracting my
Yeah.
ear. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So then I was like, I like how that bass is sounding. So yeah, I'm begging my mom to buy me a bass because we back in them days where,
Ain't nobody had no money for no instruments.
yeah, exactly.
Ain't nobody had no money for that.
Yeah. They like, you ain't gonna play that thing, it's a big city. Yeah, I was begging my mom, yeah, get me a bass, please. Yeah.
Not only am I gonna play it, but I'm gonna get in the band and play it.
Right,
So
right.
so so it's funny. And when we talk about this, there was always that one person that like made it happen for you, like to put it in your hands, like that that bass being put in your hands gave you a tool.
Mm-hmm.
It gave you a tool, and then you already had your motivation because Prince was already and you already found somebody that you can relate to.
Right,
You know what I mean? Somebody that you can relate
right,
to that can motivate you. And talk to me about how you
right.
became a huge Prince fan, man. We got that in common.
Okay, yeah, man. Cause yeah, I started playing bass like kind of. I think I was around 11, somewhere around that age, and I'm kind of messing around with my bass and trying to learn it and stuff. And my cousin, he lived up, you know, we lived up in the projects. I lived up in Arlington Heights. If any Pittsburgh people is listening. And my cousin, you know, we started, you know, some of my friends up there, we started a little band, you know, we practicing in each other's living rooms and when our moms would let us.
Let's say his name. Ira, you talking about Ira?
No. Me and Ira ended up hooking up later. But this is my cousin Keith.
Got you.
Keith
Okay.
Wormsley.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
He by the name Jinx 7 when we were producing stuff. So but anyway, he lived right across from me in you know the project. You know how the project buildings are.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
And he started playing drums, started trying to learn how to play drums. A couple other guys I grew up with, a guy named Carlton. He was playing guitar, few other people. And we kind of got a little band together. But just to get on the Prince thing real quick, is, you know, I heard Prince's first album and he had that song called Soft and Wet. And, you know, I heard it, but I didn't really latch on to, you know, I didn't go buy the album, but I heard it. And then my cousin comes over, his second album came out. My cousin comes over with this, you know, we already practiced in our little band stuff. And he comes over with Prince's second album. And he's like,
that was it, man. That was it. Once we heard that, man, we was gone.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. I was like, who is this dude? You know, and I'm reading the credits on the album.
Right.
They did that, you know.
He played everything. You like, what?
Exact, produced, performed,
composed, arranged, all them words.
Yeah. And I'm like, wow, I'm just blown away by this. I was a fan ever since the music he was doing. I mean, I just thought it was phenomenal. I mean, I was just like, wow, this dude is just he's a musical genius.
Yeah, man. You know, we kind of were into him like people were like he was into Stevie Wonder.
Right.
You know, we saw him like the same way he saw Stevie Wonder. But what I wanted to get at really is that's what really started you into this. Prince was a musician, and he was an accomplished musician, and not just a musician, a guitar player. He was accomplished on the keys, the piano, and on the bass. And he was very knowledgeable of the recording process. See, that's what opened our brains up to different aspects of this business. So, you know, now we were talking about like technology, because I want to kind of like, you know, segue into talking about some of the messaging. Now, I'm one of the biggest Prince fans. Everybody that knows me knows that I'm one of the biggest Prince fans there ever is, just like you are. But here's the thing, man. I understood how he got caught up in the industry, man, and started to, like, you know, in order for him to get on, he had to do certain things and started getting, kind of sort of like had to, you know, be more about image to get people to pay attention to his talent, you know, all that goofy stuff. But the thing about it is, man, is that one thing I love about him is that he made that complete cycle, man, at 360 degrees. When he got older, man, he regretted a lot of the stuff that he did in the beginning of his career. He understood why he did it. And now he was out trying to teach us, everybody, like, about the business. That brings me to this point, negative messaging in the industry and how music is a vehicle for negative messaging, especially to urban audience. And negative messaging in music, it's not new. It's not anything new. This started with, and I'm gonna be honest, man, it started in my mind when gangster rap came out.
Exactly.
I'm gonna be honest, man. It came when
say hello to my little friend.
Scarface. You know what else was it? Was the
Colors thing.
Yeah, all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yes, we got caught. We like, oh man, and that's when the Italian culture affected the urban culture.
Right.
And we started putting that funk music behind it, and that made it cool.
Yeah. Because the West Coast, I think kind of when I can remember, you know, when the West Coast was doing a thing with the Crips and the Bloods, and it started seeping into the hip hop culture, music, and I just think like people were adopting it, you know. with music, and it really didn't have anything to do with music, in my opinion.
Right.
You know, like you said, it was just it was making this industry money.
Man, when they figured that out, when they figured out that they could package urban hip hop culture, see, you know, a lot of people were proud of that. A lot of people say, yeah, hip hop is everywhere, hip hop is everything. But the one thing that it did is it co-opted it and took it from us.
Mm-hmm.
It's, you know, and it's like, people don't understand, man. Even like what they're doing right now, if you think about the messaging, if you think about the women, I'm not gonna tear them down. I'm not gonna tear the Cardi B's down. I'm not gonna tear the Megan Thee Stallions down. You know,
Right.
I'm not gonna tear down, you know, all the mumble rappers and all that stuff, man. They're trying to get a bag. But that's what we're talking about here. Let's talk about some of the messaging. What are they talking about in some of this music? Do you know?
Yeah, man, when I think back, you know, like if we go back to the beginning, you know, the Sugar Hill Gang and all of that stuff, like it was the Curtis Blow. It seemed like, you know, hip hop they were sharing our stories, like from the hood, you know, like the struggles, like, you know, single parenting, all that stuff.
It was about trying to make it out of it.
Right.
It wasn't glorifying it. It was talking about making out of it.
Yeah, it wasn't destructive, you know, to the neighborhoods, in my opinion. And then, you know, the gangster rap and all of that started coming in, and it kind of got destructive to the culture of hip hop. You know, it was making money, but yeah.
Gangster rap is what spread and I'm gonna say this, and I'm probably gonna get, you know, some heat for it, but gangster rap is what spread the gang culture.
Yeah.
To the cities that didn't even know nothing about it. Like in the East Coast, we didn't know nothing about all that mess. They brought a whole nother culture, and they used funk music to do it. Now, let me say this, Troy. I you know, we just heard Adam. Adam said something I thought that was extremely important. He says that I had a lot of impact on Mailman. One of the things that I had impact on Mailman was putting funk music into rap. And we started doing that long before Dr. Dre was even doing it. I mean, if you look at the time frame that we were doing it, and you look at the time frame and what he was doing at that time, he was doing East Coast stuff, like sampling, looping. You know, we were like playing like live tracks, like, you know. And there was everybody in this Pittsburgh area and also in Ohio. That's what we did. We was funksters. That's what we did, right? You remember? That's what we did. Yeah, bands, funk.
Right, because I grew up on the Parliament Funkadelic.
Yes.
And all of that funk, stuff, and just incorporating that into hip hop. Yeah, that was part of what it was all about.
But see, the thing was, is a lot of us was going down there to LA, and we was taking that stuff with us, man. And them dudes, because we didn't have the vehicle to put that stuff out, we didn't, you know, they picked it up and they made it popular, and it became their sound.
Went out there too. Sneed.
Yeah, Sam Sneed. Sam Sneed. Yep. Yeah.
He was great.
But anyway, I wanted to talk to you about technology as well. Man, they just trying to get everybody to keep buying these machines, man.
Exactly. And yeah, 6 months to a year or so, it's like the upgrades or it's already outdated because they keep updating everything. And I think, man, you were talking about that. As a matter of fact, with Ira, when he was going back and forth with you, with same thing happened to me. It was just an update on my Mac computer.
Right.
You know, just like Mac updating its operating system. And I just did an update on my operating system, and then my interface wasn't working anymore.
That's the game. That's the game.
Exactly what I did, man. I was like, I stopped. I think I don't know how many, you know how Mac will change their, they don't say Sierra or whatever.
Yeah. Katana, whatever the heck. It's always something.
Yeah, I haven't even upgraded anymore and I made it where my computer won't, it won't automatically do it. I have to.
Yeah, manually going there and do that. That's the smart thing.
Going through that again with the interfaces anymore.
So tell me what you think. You know, you haven't told me, what is these kids talking about in this music, man? What are they talking about nowadays?
Yeah.
What are they talking about?
I think, honestly, I don't even know, man. It's
who's behind this messaging?
That's a good question. I think it's the industry industry, well, like me and you, I think we agree on that when we say, the powers that be in the industry, or it's all about making money. So they'll you can just be a pawn in their scheme to make money, and they'll just put music out there. Who cares what it's saying or what's the message? The messaging is, I think, very destructive to our culture, the urban culture, and what's so funny? And I'm thinking about this with the thing with Dave Chappelle. To bring that in real quick, when he
Sure.
just did his
Sure.
thing, he did his closer show, and
Yeah.
and he made a comment, a statement where he said, he's talking about the baby, he's saying how, black music, we can sit there and talk about shooting and killing and nigga this and nigga that, and degrading our women and all that type of stuff. But he said, when he said something about the LGBT community, he said, you can't say anything to offend them, but nobody's over here saying anything about this. We're sitting here saying all this, stuff. It's making money, but nobody's mad about it. But if you say something over here, then people are getting their feathers all ruffled. So
I'm gonna just be honest.
That's a good point to make about that.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I'm gonna tell you something about me. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it here, and I'm gonna say it publicly. People that get bullied can turn into bullies.
Right.
And I think that's a lot of what's happening right now. Power corrupts everybody. And when you start canceling people and thinking you can control whether they make money and all this type, you've now become the bully.
Right.
So instead of having a conversation to get people to understand, you don't use your words anymore. What you do is now you're using tactics, the same oppressive tactics that are used against black people. Now you're using against everybody now. Like, that's oppression. To stop someone not to be able to make a living anymore because they disagree with your views or what you think. Now, there's always and I'm not saying it's an excuse because violence does occur, but I'm gonna tell you something. Being in law enforcement, do you know who the number one violence and murder is? Trans black people.
Right.
But it's like the people that are complaining are not the transgender black people. It's like it's the Caucasian ones that like they have these big, powerful groups that as soon as you say something, I'm not going to get all into that. I'm not trying to turn. I believe everybody should live their life and do what they want to do. Right. I just don't believe in the over-sexualization of children. Just that whole concept. If you're either with us or you're against us, and I think that's how everything operates now. And I also think one more quick thing, because we're talking about urban. I think every time we try to ally with someone else, they take over our oppression and make it their oppression.
Exactly.
I'll just leave it there. And I'm done with it. That's controversial enough. I'm going to leave it right there. But what's going on with our artists? What's going on with these kids? What's going on with, all of them trying to make everything about sexual and being, whether they're, gay or not? Who cares? Why can't they just do music and just let it go?
Music, I don't know. I'm just thinking I'm like, what happened to music? Because music, it's supposed, music can transcend you. It can take you to higher levels and bring your spirit. Music is supposed to be uplifting to your spirit and not destructive to your spirit. And I think that's why we, with me and you, we agree, as far as learning an instrument, learning a bass, learning a guitar, learning piano or percussions or any instrument. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, like you said, music comes from the soul. So with technology, and I'm not against technology, but you got to learn how to blend technology with learning music. So when you don't learn music like an instrument or something, and you're just using technology, then that music's not coming from your soul because that music's already been created.
It's not even yours. Right. And they're okay with it. They're complete like I was talking to my man Cynic Lethal, and he was like, they don't care.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
care, but they don't care about their soul, you know. And the thing about it is like,
Right,
you listen until you bend the guitar note, and you wonder why Prince is making that face.
right.
You'll never understand it, man. Is there anything that you wanted to promote on here? Is there anything that you wanted to say on here, man? Because you're such a supporter, I want to give you an opportunity to be able to, you know, to talk about what you want to talk before we get out of here.
Oh yeah, no. Well, I try to support. There's a lot of like our other the group members. Like Danny Vassar
Yeah, man.
Bonnie, and I saw.
She's about to come out with some hot stuff. Yeah,
Danny get ready to drop a new single or something.
Yeah.
I'm always looking for her stuff. That when she's I'll download her stuff from iTunes or whatever. Just our fellow musician friends and stuff like that. I'm always, in agreement to promote our fellow artists and Bunny and them out there on the West Coast with her.
Man. She and I became like, man, I found her on the internet just jamming, funking on some keyboard.
Yeah.
I said, I didn't even know she was connected to Brian Edwards. I just was checking her out myself.
I did the same thing, and she had a video with her in the Rugged.
Doing their thing.
And I seen the video.
Got us both. That's how they got us.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out! I'm gonna get the Rugged. I'm gonna get the Rugged on here too, man. I really want to talk to that dude, man. Like I'm gonna have him on here as well. So, hey, listen, man. I wanted to thank you for being so supportive of the group, man, and thank you for getting involved. Hey, like we're like family, man. So I'm gonna have you over, man. We're gonna get together, man. And hey, if there's any way that I can help you do what you're doing, I have no problem with it.
Like I was listening when you and Adam was talking, and same thing, man. I think like we were connected through music, even though we didn't know each other yet. And I gotta find this video, Kaz. I got a video like when I was going to Art Institute for that music and video program I was in, and that's kind of how I first seen you. It was a guy. He was dealing with Mark. I think
Mark Allen.
Yeah, when you was doing stuff over there.
Yeah, Cam Studio. Yep, that was our studio. We had
Cam Studios, and I got a video of an interview that I got to find it because I want to show it to you. And like I said, we didn't even technically know each other yet, but we were kind of connected through music in that way before we even really knew each other.
And the video was what, me doing an interview or you doing an interview?
Yeah, you was doing an interview for it was a guy when I was attending the school down there. It was a guy that I was going to school with who was dealing with Mark, and I guess he was knew you, and that's when you was recording with Danny.
Yeah.
And all stuff over there.
Yeah.
And he just did a little interview, like kind of like what we're doing now.
Absolutely.
About music. Yeah.
Word.
Yeah.
Hey, man,
I got this on VHS tape somewhere.
Hey, man, find that thing. I want to see it. Troy, thank you so much, man. I'm going to get up out of here, man. I appreciate you coming on, man. This was a great time, man. I enjoyed talking to you, man. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to do my little summary, and I'm going to get out of here, man. Peace and love, man.
All right, Kaz, peace.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. You are a wonderful audience. This is probably going to be on YouTube. I'm going to do some editing, fix some things up, and throw it on YouTube. Please go to my YouTube page and subscribe. All you have to do is just Google YouTube/Kaz Lamar, and my videos should come up. Subscribe, please. All my group members, I want you to subscribe because I may eventually just get off of Facebook. Facebook is acting goofy. Yeah, I said it. They're acting real goofy. So, hey, listen, I'm out of here. Love y'all. Hey, peace and love.